Hello beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane, and I'm going to do another excellent reading for you today. The card that came out to look at today, out of two, because we have two, we have effort and acceptance. These are going to be two separate readings, so if you'd like to see both, please make sure to subscribe. We're looking at this one first. The first thing that struck me when this card came out on Sunday in the weekly read was the word effort and how we revere that word. We link it to success. How do we link it to success? Because nothing comes easy. Everything that you have to work for. Everything that you see, you have to strive to overcome. Big words. And it's a beautiful hero story. But do you realize that stopping where you are and looking at something dead in the face, as in problems, conflicts, challenges, and dealing with them right there, can also be a sign of victory? Okay? Effort is a word we assign to overcoming, like doing work but overworking. In other words, I'm going to bring back the Hester Hicks example about swimming upstream and downstream. Sometimes we're swimming upstream because we're running away from something that we don't want to look at downstream, because going downstream may not always bring you to the beautiful flowers. Maybe there is a storm or something happening downstream. So instead of facing up to it, we're overcoming it by swimming upstream. I hope that makes sense. Just the fact that you have this red for the root chakra, your insecurity, feeling safe, and then you have the yellow, the force, the strength, the Leo, the moving the immovable barrier. I feel the effort in this. But if you look straight at the top, there's number 13. You add those up, it's 4. 4 is stopping and reflecting on where you are and where you want to go. And it's celebrating what you've accomplished so far. There's very much a feeling of joy. The 4 is also the 4 of Cups. It's stagnating, but sometimes you stagnate. You need to stop and be where you're at to see what's going on before you make the next move. Depending on the perspective, sometimes taking the reins and pushing through the challenges is a way for you to run in the other direction. And this is what they're really showing me. Running in the other direction in order to avoid one obstacle from the other. The obstacle is the effort going uphill. But you're also avoiding the obstacle of going downhill, because there's something there you don't want to look at. Or there's something right here you don't want to look at. Either way, Pisces, effort in the past has been shown to you, and it's not the past as well, yes, it is in the past, but in your present moment, and as your block is presenting itself as something that you go in the other direction, as something to overcome, instead of staring it in the face. And I completely understand that, even for myself. There's certain things in my life that I really dislike with a passion, and when forced with it, I'd rather run the other direction. Ultimately, that's going uphill, though. It's always going uphill. Let's see if we can pull some more on this. Yeah, deceit. So 25 is 7. Deceit, absolutely. It's a form of deceit. And that's what I keep getting from this card. That's what I see, is that you're looking at this as overcoming, as being the hero by fighting it, by going the other direction. I don't like what's happening here, so I'm going to fight and be the hero and overcome it this way. But it's by not dealing with the current situation. Very much a moon energy of an illusion that you've created instead of dealing with. The actual hero movement, the actual victory is in not the effort to get away from it or the idea of staying safe. It's to feel safe where you are and dealing with it right now so that you can end up going downstream. I think that's a better way of seeing it. That's a better way of putting it. Absolutely. Let me see here if I see anything else here. Yeah, like I see he's holding some kind of box, and in it there's pennies. It feels like there's pennies coming out. It's like he's telling you, look, there's treasure here, but it's pennies really. It's not real treasure. It's like a fake out. It's like that's exactly what it feels like. I feel like we have been, and myself included, we deceive ourselves with a show of strength, thinking that it is like a hero thing to go upstream, but it's just another form of avoidance. Do you understand? I completely get it. It's strange though, because I've always felt like sometimes when I go in a different, it's like going down, they're showing me going down a dark alleyway and fearing it and turning around and taking like the big long way around and thinking, oh, I succeeded at getting to destination, but the only thing that you did was avoid the fear from going into a dark place. You understand? It's not that there was anything nefarious there, but you avoided the fear, but you think you succeeded because you said, well, I still got from point A to point B, even though it took me longer. Okay? So I'm trying to give you examples that they're showing me, but it's actually just, that's how it's coming in. That's how it's coming in. So that is the block. That is the block right now. I feel that you're shortchanging yourself as well, Pisces, by doing this. You're shortchanging the courage that you have within you. You're not giving yourself a chance to stand up and fight, to feel safe within yourself, to repair what's there so that you're no longer afraid. So you keep living with the deceit that you've survived things, right? It's blocking your movement forward. You're not progressing as fast as you could. The Eight of Wands in reverse, okay? That's why you're not fast-tracking, because it's a deceitful move. And I think maybe at the heart, we all know this, but we choose to think, oh, we call it a victory. We call an effort to stay out of danger victory because we managed to do it. But all we did was step sideways in order to avoid something that's probably just going to come back up in our face. So is it really victory? Beautiful card of Justice coming in, right? So we think by balancing this out that it's all good, that we're going to be, you know, it's very much like, oh, we're going to get our just rewards. But we have to be accountable for what we do, okay? And this is the card of truth, not deceit. So you have deceit and truth. The truth of the matter is you need to sit inside that truth, be accountable for your actions, and find the solutions that are going to help you. And you know, I'm not trying to tell you that you're doing it wrong. I'm trying to tell you that you're doing it right for you. However, don't be surprised if you get to the end of this cycle and you're back into it again. Because if you keep repeating it, it's going to keep sending you back and forth into the cycle until you figure out how to fix it. how to look the boogeyman in the eye, how to go through that dark spot, and not just run through it and say, "Hey, I made it," but to get past your fear, to understand what brought it, what made it, what is it in the dark that scares you so much? What's the deceit? What's the lie? What's the fear that you put inside of yourself? How do you feel safe again by dealing with it? How do you find your real strength, your real courage? How do you turn this around so you can start moving in confidence within yourself? It's by looking for that flashlight. It's by shining into the dark corners in that alley. It's finding what it is. It's going to take some time. You have the Prince of Pentacles. I said the Knight. It's not the Prince, but it's the Knight. Whatever. Whatever you want to call it. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady wins the race. So instead of finding a quick way out, turning around and going another direction and then saying, "Goal, I made it," but in essence it's cheating because you haven't looked at something, it's time to look at it. And that's what he's doing. He's picking up the coin and he's really looking at it. What is this? What is this? What do I have to do? What do I have to do with this? What am I not seeing? What do I need to pay attention to here? Okay? So great big lesson here. It's good. I mean, it's I feel there's a lot to be taught here. There's a lot to understand. Oh, the cards want to flip, but they're not. Choices. You have so many choices. That's a wonderful thing. That's free will. They're saying that's free will. That's the way we come here. We come here with a lot of decisions. Do I carry on the way I've been going? Or do I take a different approach? Do I deal with the situation? Or do I run away from it? Do I stand strong in my valor and my courage? Or do I run away in fear? What do I do here? And nobody will tell you, in a lot of cases, nobody will tell you that you're doing it wrong. You have to go in from your own homing system. You have to trust within yourself that you're doing the right thing. One of the greatest things that they're going to tell you right here, Pisces, is that when you sit inside of your own power, your own calm emotions, in a very, a very turbulent sea going on around you, you really know that you're inside your power. It's because the situation's outside of yourself that's triggering you, that's making you run the other direction. Once you're able to sit in those situations, you know you've honed it because they're no longer an issue. They're no longer a problem. They no longer trigger you. They don't cause you anything. You go in that alley, you go in your pocket, you have a flashlight, and then you can see what's in front of you, and you can react accordingly. You can now trust your gut when you see things. You can go, "Oh, that's just a critter. Oh, that's just a plastic bag running around." You know, like you can finally see. And if you see somebody in that dark alley, you can actually see the person and not the fear of seeing a person. And you can assess it with your gut feeling. What do I get from this person? Does this person look like it's a nefarious situation? Or is it just somebody who's hiding out here, or somebody who's, sheltering here? And you can assess with your gut instead of fear or unfounded fears that are just a projection of the boogeyman in your head. Okay? but you go at it with a sense of peace, that no matter what comes in this situation, you've got it. You've got it covered. Okay? You're not living in fear. You're living in harmony with yourself. And that's the part that you want to get to. Yeah. Because right now what you're doing is you're trying to control something. You're holding on to it so tightly and going, "Ooh, big boogeyman, I'm scared. How can I hold on tighter? How can I control this so that it doesn't feel so bad? Oh, let's go in the other direction." So you're controlling it, but this four is the other four. The effort that is pushing and pulling you the other way. Okay? Okay. So, you have the Ten of Swords. Look at that. Put a stick in me, put a fork in me, put a sword in me, I'm done. It's time to end the cycle of, you know, you can even feel the 9 before it, the anxiety, the fear. It's time to put the swift end to this, okay, to the stressful situation. If you need to hit rock bottom of that fear, go look at it. We have too many people today who are taking stuff to get away from the fear. Again, the society places band-aids. Here's something to take to make you feel better. Here's something to numb you so that you don't look at your life in the eye and fight the boogeyman on your own turf, on your own ground. Now, do understand that some people need medication to have hormonal bodily imbalances. I do get that, and I'm not saying to get off of that, absolutely not. I'm talking about even myself who've suffered bouts of depression, and I've realized that most of them is because I have unchallenged fears. I have things that I am not dealing with. So I'm talking for everyday people, people who are just trying so hard and then end up numbing that bad feeling so they don't have to feel it. And it just makes it so that if you ever get off this medication, you're just back exactly where you were, trying to deal with a situation that you ran away from. Okay? So, again, I'm going to repeat, I'm not a doctor. I have no medical degrees. I'm not a psychologist. I have no medical degrees. So, don't take any kind of medical advice from me. This is only my opinion. This is a spiritual opinion. This is about avoidance. I'm pretty sure, though, Life Rules is telling you that in order to move forward in your life, you have to deal with what's in front of you. Almost 100% sure of that. And in case you were wondering what this whole video about, it is actually about avoidance. It is about avoidance. So let's move it forward. Let's launch this sucker, this puppy. Let's make it go in the direction that you need to. Okay? If you are here, it is probably because you are meeting an obstacle that you are scratching your head or crying in your hands or just bending forward thinking, how do I get past this? And even if you've ran the other direction and done the effort, or I feel like they're saying you're at a point where you're going, I've been taught all my life that if I, go upstream and fight, I'll make it. Why am I not winning? Why am I not winning when I'm fighting so hard? It's because that only works for certain instances, okay? The Nine of Wands. It only works in circumstances. Actually, does it ever work? I don't know. Maybe when it's helping others that it works. when you help others overcome their things. But it's usually giving them their own answers, giving their own strength, helping them up the hill with you, okay? I feel that that's in a sense of service. It's almost like they're throwing the word hero in your mind. But it doesn't work when you're running away from things. So some of you, you're almost there with this idea of facing your fears, facing your truth, understanding what is. You are actually going to move forward in where you need to go and what you need to do. Okay? Even though it doesn't quite feel that way right now, you will most certainly get there. Okay, so it's very in your face today, Pisces, of course, but it's a great lesson to learn. It's something to think about. It's something to just mull over. Are you running in the other direction, calling it a win, or are you actually sitting there and dealing with it? I do feel that narrow pathway this week. I feel that they're sticking you in this little narrow place that you can't run from anymore. In other words, they're saying, all right, it's time to get to business. It's time to really figure out, have laser focus on this road that you're on, okay? To really make the decisions that are right for you, that are going to get you to where you need to go. So that's it for me for right now, my beautiful ones. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell to all. And why don't you write in the comment sections, I am going to face my fears today. I will face my fears. I will face my fears. That's easy, right? I will face my fears. Right. There you go. All right, Pisces, I will see you later. Take excellent care of yourself. Bye for now.